Hello there, everybody. Please excuse my super sexy sweaty Betty style that I have going on. I'm trying to start a new fashion called working for a living. Anyways, I'm out here in the garden and wanted to give you an update on our Ruth Stout gardening method project. I have good news and I have bad news. So good news is I haven't been out here. I got dirt in my mouth. I haven't been out here to weed once since we started the garden. And I did have weeds in here, but our garden isn't small by any means. And it only took me about a half hour or so to go through and pull the weeds. And I did notice that where the weeds were mainly growing is where the hay was thinner than other areas. So we had about 6 bales of hay left. So I went through and broke those apart, and that's what I've been spending most of my time doing, is going through and spreading the hay along the thinner areas. And the thicker the hay, the better, and now I see why. Our watermelon and our strawberries and our asparagus is thriving. They're doing great. And I didn't plant them in the ground. I just simply put them in the hay. And the hay's doing what it's supposed to do. It's slowly breaking down at the bottom. And I'll show you, if you lift some of it up, you can see that it's nice and moist on the inside. So it's keeping our fruits and vegetables nice and cool and wet. So that's really good. Now for the bad news. So 95% of the seeds that we planted are not growing. And at first I was thinking it was the Ruth Stout method that we're using, which is why nothing started from seed. But we use the same seeds in our actual gardening soil for our herbs in our greenhouse, and we only have one tiny basil plant it's struggling, and it's not neglected by any means. But my husband had ordered a kit of heirloom seeds online through Amazon, and we had never done that before. So I'm thinking that maybe the seeds were bad. Probably they'd been sitting there a while, I'm assuming, and they're too old. So from our seeds, like I said, we only have one basil plant. We have we have one green bean plant that popped up. We have a winter squash. We have 2 radish. What else? We have a few stalks of corn. And I think that's it. Oh, and I planted peanuts, and those are doing really good too, but those weren't started from seed. So yeah, not a big deal. I mean, it's really a bummer, but it's a lesson learned. But it was the first time we had ordered seeds online like that before, and we did so because we were having such a hard time finding heirloom seeds in the stores. So we'll just have to keep an eye out. But like I said, lesson learned. We won't be ordering through those people again. Kind of breaks my heart because I was really looking forward to some homemade, or actually homegrown tomatoes, because, not to toot my own horn, but I make the best tomato sauce and can it. I was gonna show you guys how to make it, and I still will, but unfortunately I'll have to cheat and buy my supplies in the store versus having my own from my own garden. So anyways, keep an eye out for that later this fall. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update. The Ruth Stout method's doing really well. I don't like spending all my free time weeding, and this is definitely keeping the weeds at bay except for where the areas were thinner. But again, the thicker the hay, the better. Now we know why. And so, all right, while I'm out here, let's also go check on our grapes and our blueberries. All right, so this one doesn't have grapes growing this year, but it's still relatively small and kind of babyish, so that's okay. But this one does. Look at them growing. Those are gonna be delicious. And then we have quite a few growing on this bad boy. Oh yeah, this one is doing great. Look at all of them. We had a ton last year, but we definitely have way more growing this year. So that's exciting. All right, and now our blueberries. This one here and that one over there are our lemonade blueberries. I don't see anything growing on here yet, unless the chickens have already ate them. But they're all doing really well. I know this one has some growing, so that's exciting. Not a whole lot, but it's still early. And it's still fairly young. And these two are just babies. Before I had my nastiness into the shower, I forgot to mention that I have this app called Picture This that all you do is take a quick picture of, and it'll scan it and tell you if it's a weed, what kind of weed it is, or if it's a vegetable or a specific flower, and it gives you all kinds of information. I have used this app for years because sometimes it's hard to tell whether something new growing up is a flower or weed or a fruit or a vegetable. So I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you would find it helpful as well, because it's something I use all the time, and I've identified all kinds of weeds around my house. I've even found hemlock in my yard, which is extremely poisonous. So yeah, it's a really great app, and there's actually one for bugs too. But I've recorded a quick screen recording showing me using it. That way you guys have an idea of what it looks like and what it does, and you can decide from there whether or not it's something you would find helpful as well. All right, you guys, have a great day.